And we wanted to play some goodness from Jim Rohn to start with, and we'll have everybody keep coming in. And then Allison and I are going to share some goodness for you all. So thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Kimberly, for inviting all of us.
Allison, I'm so excited to do this. And after Jim, I'm going to hand it over to you. And we'll do
very interesting subject. I call it 5 simple steps to go from average to fortune. Let me give you this simple little talk. How to go from average to fortune. There's 5 simple steps. You might like to make a note of them. Here's the first one. Get serious. That's number 1. I don't know any substitute for that. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. I know a guy that's got a half a dozen jokes keeping him from becoming wealthy. He's not known as rich. He's recording in which I guess is okay if that's the kind of life you want to live. But it really isn't the best way to live. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. And you must get serious about 2 very important things. Number 1 is setting your goals and where you want to go. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? How far would you like to go? Those are some major questions to ask. And for that all to work out like you want it to for the next 5 or 10 years, in my personal opinion, you've got to get serious. Then you have to get serious about another important subject. And that important subject is called personal development. Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. And to become the kind of person you want to be, you've got to work at it. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be. There's a very important question to ask, and the question is, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. And the question is, where? So to answer the question of where you want to arrive and the kind of person you want to be, you've got to get serious. So that's point number 1. To make your life worthwhile and unique, to go from average to fortune, you've got to get serious. Now, the second point is get smart. To make your life work out worthwhile, you've got to have some ideas. You've got to have the information. So you've got to be smart. In fact, in this decade, you must be much smarter than you were in the last decade. You've got to read the books. You've got to come up with the information. When I have a chance to talk to the high school kids, that's the theme of my talk. Get smart. There's nothing worse than being stupid. And if you will read the books, learn from your experiences, do all the things that you possibly can to get the information, sure enough, you'll be wiser this year than you were last year. And I've got a few techniques that I teach in my seminar on how to get smarter, keeping a journal, going to the lectures, going to the seminars, listening to the sermons, picking up ideas from other people. You just must keep up this steady process of learning. Never cease your quest for knowledge. And that's one of the key points to go from average to fortune. Get smart. Now, here's number 3. You've got to get going. All of the things that you've learned will not do you that much good if you don't put it into an action plan. You've got to get going. In my management and leadership seminar, we teach game plans, how to put all the good things that you've learned into action. Economic action, social action, personal action. How to make the changes and how to actually do the work, how to actually function. Get going, that's the key. Some people are ever learning, but they don't put it into action. They don't really take the action. It's like the man who keeps bringing materials to the building site and never builds anything. He keeps bringing in the sand and the gravel and the windows and the doors and the roofing material, and he just stacks up all these supplies, but he never builds anything. You've got to do something with what you've learned. You've got to take action. You've got to get going. So that's one of the most important things to learn, how to design your days, how to design your weeks, how to design the months so that you take the proper action to get the proper return that you're looking for, whether it's economic or personal. Get going. It's a major key. Now here's number 4. You must get excited. And not just the false enthusiasm of just pure positive thinking. You've got to get excited over some very basic things. One is get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. Because discipline is major step one toward personal progress. And anytime a person wishes to, they can make major changes in their life, personally and socially and financially. It doesn't ever have to be the same after today. No telling what you could do today if you really wished to. The act of murder is a clear indication that a person in one drastic act can forever change the course of their life. It just happens to be in the negative direction. What I would ask you to do, starting today, is get excited about committing an act that's positive, an act that's constructive, to make the changes in your life that you want made, and to go the direction that you want to go. So that's number 4. Get excited. Get excited about your potential. Human capacity is usually never the problem. Little children can learn several languages, but we can learn to do the most incredible things. All we need to do is take the time to do it. So it's not a matter of capacity. It's a matter of judgment. It's a matter of excitement. It's a matter of will, and it's a matter of wanting to bad enough. So it's pretty exciting to know that any day you wish, you can change your life. Any day you pick out, you can make major changes. It doesn't ever have to be the same again. And that's exciting. Knowing that intellectually and personally, you can actually do the things that will make major changes in your life. That's number 4. Here's number 5. Number 5 is get away. I have found, especially in the last 15, 20 years, that there's an important thing called life balance. You've got to learn to get away. You must learn to get away and be alone. Learn to get away and reflect. Learn to get away and learn how to live as well as how to earn. How sad it would be to learn how to earn well, but not learn how to live well. You must balance your life. We teach something, especially in my staff, I teach something called lifestyle. Lifestyle is how you learn to live your life. Some people have money, but they don't even know how to spend it. They have time, but they don't know how to spend it. Some people are successful, but they don't know how to spend their success. They don't know what to do with it. They don't get joy from it. Rather, they get animosity. A father takes $5, crushes it, and throws it at his son and says, if you need it that bad, take it. Now, it's the same $5, but instead of dispensing it with joy, he dispenses it with animosity. That's the difference in not knowing how to live. It's called lifestyle. Then you've got to take time to cultivate good friends. You've got to take time to be with your family. You've got to take time to be with the people who are important to you, designing your life in those respects. Get away. Take the time. Reflect on your life. Recharge your batteries. Do some growing away from your enterprise. Then when you come back to your enterprise, after you have taken this time to balance your life, you will find that on the job, working on your enterprise, things will really go much better. So those are the 5 simple steps to go from average to fortune. Get serious, get smart, get going, get excited, and get away. There's usually about a half dozen things that makes 80% of the difference. There's usually about a half dozen things that makes 80% of the difference. Great formula. Now, it's not exactly half dozen, it's not exactly 80%, but you get my concept here. Here's another way to put it. Keep looking for the few things that makes the most difference. For your good health, there's not 1,000 things you have to do. Not 1,000 things every day. I'm telling you about a half a dozen good health practices, and you'll take care of most of your health challenges. Okay? If you're going to set up an office, there's not a checklist of 500 things you need to look at every day. I'm telling you, there's about a half a dozen. A few things will take care of most of it. Now here's the challenge. Once you've found the few things that takes care of the most of the challenge, now spend most of your time on those few things. This we simply call time management. In the 2-day leadership weekend, one of my major subjects is time management. Here's what I call it. The best kept secret of the rich is what? Time management. What an incredible discovery I made one day when I found out that rich people have about 24 hours a day, right? And poor people have about what? 24 hours a day. Wouldn't that drive you mad till you found out what the difference was? How could you sleep nights till you found out what the difference was? Both have equal time, but an incredible difference in outcome. What makes the difference? Same time, but a totally different outcome. It's called time management. And here's part of it in a nutshell. Look for the few things that makes the most difference, then spend most of your time working on those few things. In our leadership series, here's what we learned. Here's why a lot of people don't do well. They major in minor things. They spend too much time on things that don't count. And what else? They spend too little time on things that would count. They've got the ratios mixed up. So we teach our children what? Don't spend major time on minor things, things that don't count. And don't spend major money on minor things, things that don't count. It's easy to get the ratios mixed up and suffer the consequences. In the last 10 years, a guy's bought 2 tons of donuts and 2 books. And he wonders why his life is devastated. Right away, we would come up with the answer, couldn't we? He spent far too much money on what? Donuts. Now, both donuts and books are okay, but this guy spent far too much money on donuts and not enough money on books. I'm telling you, that is the difference. The best kept secret of the rich. Don't spend too much money on things that don't count. Don't spend too much time on things that don't count. And don't spend too little time on things that would count. Called the time management challenge. So the few things, the half dozen, takes care of the big share of it. Good formula to use. Here's what we call these half dozen few. Basics. Basics, fundamentals. If you're going to play basketball, right? Going to be a pro someday. Hey, you got to master the fundamentals. Not 1,000 things, a few things you get very good at. Then you add your own flair and your own personality. But hey, if you want to do something extremely well and get well paid, you master the fundamentals, master the basics. Now, here's what's exciting about the fundamentals of life. Just jot that down. The fundamentals of life. Here's what's exciting about the fundamentals of life. Number one, there's just a few. There's not 1,000. There's just a few fundamentals of life and living well, success. Just a few fundamentals. Here's what else is exciting. Once you know them, you know them. Once you got it, you got it. Okay. And here's what else is exciting. There's no new ones. So you don't have to worry about being surprised. Because fundamentals are what? Oh, 6,500 years of written history gives us the fundamentals of life. And these fundamentals are old. You got to beware of somebody who comes along with new truth. Say, no, truth is not new. Truth is what? Old. Old. Now, there might be a new way of looking at it, maybe a new way to apply it to the 20th century. But just because you've discovered it, it isn't called new truth. So truth is old. Beware if somebody says we've got a new fundamental. Say, no, that sentence doesn't even make sense. So be a little suspicious. Wouldn't you be suspicious of a guy who said we're manufacturing antiques, right? You got to come and see our plant work. You say, no. No, you can't manufacture antiques. Antiques are what?
Setting goals and having a clear sense of purpose is critical to achieving success in life. However, it's not enough to simply have goals. You must also take them seriously and commit to them fully. Without this level of focus and commitment, it's easy to lose sight of your goals and get distracted by the many competing demands of daily life. Getting serious about your goals means taking the time to understand why they are important to you and what you hope to achieve by pursuing them. It requires a deep level of introspection and a willingness to be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses, as well as the challenges that lie ahead. Once you have a clear understanding of your goals and the path you need to take to achieve them, you can begin to focus your energy and resources on making them a reality. Achieving your dreams also requires a significant amount of commitment. This means staying the course, even when things get tough, and not giving up in the face of adversity. It means making sacrifices and prioritizing your goals over other less important activities. It also means being willing to take risks and step out of your comfort zone to pursue your dreams. In order to stay committed to your goals, it's important to have a support system in place. This might include friends and family members who can offer encouragement and support, as well as mentors or coaches who can provide guidance and advice. It's also important to stay motivated and focused on your goals by regularly revisiting your vision and reminding yourself of the reasons why you set out to achieve them in the first place. In conclusion, getting serious about your goals and committing fully to achieving your dreams is essential for success in life. It requires a deep level of introspection, focus, and commitment, but the rewards are well worth the effort. By staying true to your vision and staying committed to your goals, you can achieve great things and live a fulfilling and rewarding life.
Ambition, my friend.
Sweet. How amazing was that? Did everyone take some notes? I've listened to it quite a few times. I'll definitely put that replay in the comments of this replay call of our thing. But anyway, welcome to everyone that came in during the video, and welcome to everyone coming in now. I just want to give a huge shout out to Allison for doing this with me today. It's Junie's birthday. It's like they're in the midst of birthday parties, and she is here to talk about dedication and servant leadership and all of it. And it feels so amazing to get to do this call with you all and to have her as my, having my back. And there's definitely something about holding space for each other. And Allison does that so well for me. I can't even get over it. And I'm super thankful that she is here with me. So I wanted to turn it over to you and have you speak to what we heard. And then we're going to go into some other things.
Thank you so much. And you always hold space for us as well. And just the collaboration is so special. And I love that we get to do this together and hold each other accountable. Kimberly and I really hold each other accountable. And it's so important to have that in this business. And we get that, other people have to pay for a lot of other type of mentorship. What we get in this community is so valuable and so important. And what we're creating, it's incredible. So I love that video so much. That was everything. Like, it was really everything. So it's a great intro and just a great reminder. I took notes on, what really there's 5 steps, the get serious, get smart, get going, get excited, and get away. I took my own notes around that because they inspired so many areas that like, you just need to focus, and just that, our time management, what we focus on, and how we can just decide one day we're going to be successful and commit that act of positivity to make everything change. It's always available to us. Every day is a new opportunity, every single day, even on a weekend, even today. Everything could change with just the power of clarity, the power of a decision, the power when we get a vision. Not all of us come into this really having a clearer vision of what our life goals are, but we get to like reflect here and dream. We get to take that step that we may have denied ourselves for our whole lives. And since we were kids, because we dreamt when we were kids and we thought of how we were going to live our life and design our life, but we've given up on a lot of those things over time. And so it's a chance now to really start to dream, like just get really like think about what design your life. It's really an opportunity we get to change everything for ourselves in the power of a moment's decision, and just get to so Kimberly, I don't know if you wanted me to share like something specific, or I'm gonna hand it back to you.
I just want to say too that what you were just sharing about like really write it down. Thankfully, you know, I've just been like at everybody's beck and call, and like Purium, like the whole thing, like my whole existence is just Purium. Boo was like, how do you have time management? I'm like, I don't. I sleep and then I do this, you know, and I eat superfoods. But I finally did it for Kia and for others, and I really set my calendar up, time blocking it. And then I'm going to just get it more and more detailed. And I've used that daily rhythm of operation, and I've posted it. And if everyone wants to do that, that's taken me 5 years to want to be this professional. And I also created a document that I'm going to share with everyone where we could actually use Melissa Hansen's script for the most part, and then a place to write everything down. And like we could really change our lives if we do it. And again, if it doesn't resonate perfect, but there's something about a couple questions that might be really, really helpful. So anyway, that was kind of a side note, but it also was about like what we're talking about. If you can set up your calendar and then every day you put what you're actually doing for your network marketing business. The thing is we hear people say like, oh, it's just a, you know, you just go with the flow with it. And like, you know, we're never really working. We're just always playing. It's like, no, do the actual steps every single day in that time block and treat this like a job, and then have a system and keep record and keep track of everybody. And let's see what we can do. You know, it's like, so anyway, Allison,
I
please.
just wanted to say to that, like, yeah, that's so inspiring. And by the way, sorry for all the noise in the background. I forgot to mute. Like, there's a lot of kids in the background. But what I wanted to say about that was, you know, that is so important. At the end, he said, like, get away, right? Get design your life, and it's so important to time block our joy. You know, to make sure, like, part of our job is we're here to have fun. We're here to live in joy. We're here to be an example of a lifestyle. We are selling a lifestyle. So we have to remember the fundamentals of this, get back to that place of why we want this freedom, why we want this time, like, and we actually do have to, we're getting paid to design our life. Okay. The more we're having fun, the more we're in our element and improving our health and our, you know, mindset and all of it, the more we are going to attract what we want into our life. And that's where we get into, you know, actually passive. Like, we are not, and I'm reminding myself of this too, because like Kimberly, it's like my whole life is Purium, and I love it. And I actually do find so much joy in what we do, but it's so important to block off time for pure joy and doing other things. And every single day, you know, I make sure now to block off an hour and a half of physical activity for myself every day. So Kimberly, I love that you did that time block, actual, you know, yeah, that I would like, yeah. And it's amazing, very inspiring.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I would suggest for everyone to do it. And then when you have the time block that you say you're working your Purium business, write down the things in that action rhythm steps where you're actually doing it. So you're not like, oh, I'm supposed to be working right now. And like, what should I even be doing? I guess I could like look on Facebook or whatever. And like, I don't know, because then maybe you have those couple things checked off and it's going to cause you so much more ease so that you'll feel like you're allowed to go take care of yourself, you know? Anyway, just speaking from.
Yeah. And you know what? Too many people quit when they feel overwhelmed. And this is to prevent us from feeling like burnout or like because that's, you know, the thing is we have to learn to rest. Like we really do. Like we learn to rest, not to quit. And that's what is sustainable. That's why we've been able to do this for so long.
Yes. And then spending more time on fewer things, like, you know, just spending the time on only the things that matter. So the more we get it dialed, I mean, I've been a person that doesn't want to write things down. I never have. So I'm going completely out of my comfort zone to start doing all the things that I'm offering, but there's no way that I'm going to be able to grow to a 5-star crown if I don't start getting my details together. And that's where I'm going. We're going there and it's 100% there, but it's like, So anyway, we wanted to go into some details of being able to work a list and understanding how to actually like connect with your brand new brand partner and talk about getting on, like setting up connect calls or connect messenger threads and the whole thing. And so we had our green diamond call and it was just so good. And Allison and I, that's what we wanted to share today. And then also about referrals. And I just went to an event last weekend and there was this man that spoke of referrals. And so I put that in this document that I made for everybody. And it's just like, you know, just finesse it. You don't ever have to like do everything word for word, but at the same time, it's kind of like, why not try it? I know that what I've been doing works at a certain point, but I also am like on phone calls for like 2 hours with people. Like, don't do that anymore. This is like, anyway. So do you want to start, Allison, for this part?
So are we going to start with connect calls or referrals? What do you want to?
Let's do connect calls first, because then we could like the referrals kind of come after.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, these are the practical things. Like these are the things that we, you know, these are the simple action, the fundamentals here. So connect calls, we, you know, there's Leslie Dan listed 5. I know you took notes. I didn't actually take the notes. Did you take the notes on the 5 questions to ask before setting up a connect call? Because I thought that was like something that, you know, we don't have it in our, like I wasn't doing in my practice. So I'm like, I thought that was a really, or do you want to start there or how?
Yeah, sorry, that's what we even said. So but before that, I have like work a list. So the reason why you're helping them, number one, is so that we're actually helping people create a story, you know, because if we have someone come in and they don't make any money, like the story, what's the story? Like, oh, I came into Purium, it's the best ever. And like, I'm sure maybe someday I'll make some money with it. So, you know, really have that be like the number one piece, that we're creating a story. And so good. So number one is we're leveraging the experience of your sponsor, of the upline, of whoever's getting on that connect call with you. Then we have time management for the connect call. So you're earning while you're learning. Oh, I'm sorry, that was for, so it's just, you're doing time management. So again, you can time block in your calendar, connect with your upline, and your upline can tell you, these are my times where I have open calls and let's set it up. I know Allison's funnel, like her calendar is overflowing with all the people. So then we have real-time training. You're going to earn while you learn. And then professional, it's super professional and it's a duplicatable system that we're creating. You know, and in the beginning, nobody even really knows what that means, but like after you start for a while, it'll just be so great to be able to learn from the person that's leading you. So those are the 4. So leverage your experience with the sponsor, time management, real-time training, and professional courtesy. It's a professional courtesy to do a connect call or connect messengers with people.
Yeah, it's so important for people to know why they are setting up connect calls, you know, and also to say it with excitement, like this is all for their best interest. People coming in here, you know, it's such a service to, well, it's how we're training people off the bat. They're seeing duplication and it's just like, it's leveraging, it's making it so much easier for busy people coming in. They know they have that rest assured that they're going to know that they're going to be taken care, their people are going to be taken care of the same way, and they can vision growing so much easier.
Yes, and then we have who is like making the list, and this has been something that I haven't done hardcore with my people on a certain level, and I can apologize for days for it, but it's like, you know, so make a list and then we ask them the questions. Who's on the list? How do you know them? When was the last time you talked to them? And then are you connected to them on social media? And the most important question that we can start having our brain kind of come into like seeing the vision of this person is, why did you think of them? And so then as a, and if you're brand new, that's why you have someone like your upline or someone, because we're going to be like, oh, that person, oh, they be this, this, and this. And then I bet they know these people and these people and these people. So, so ask who's on the list. How do you know them? When was the last time you spoke to them? Are you connected to them on social media? And why did you think of them? Allison.
Yeah, I just want to say that's like, that's exact fodder you need to know how to open the conversation and really make this person feel welcome. Because once you know why, let's say Mallory connected me to someone, like I can say to that person, Mallory's told me so much about, Mallory's told me about you, like she really cares, she I know that you're really into health, you're whatever she thought of you because you're already a super conscious mama and care so much about the health of your family. Like it gives a connection right off the bat that the person, your upline, will have that ability to connect with them and them to feel special, because the most important thing we're doing is building trust and making people feel seen and heard, and that there's a reason why they're here, like they're special. So that's really important, that last one.
I love that. And you are so good at making people feel special, Allison, when you get on. It's just like, they're so excited. And, it's like, when we are talking about our person, it's like really share your heart with them. Hopefully we show up for you to a point that you're just ecstatic to be able to introduce the person that you're introducing. And so, and if you are a seasoned brand partner and you don't need one of us to like really have a lot of stuff going on to actually be able to close them, it's not about that every single time. It's more like, come join this celebration. I'd like to expose you to this beautiful person that is ready to be madly in love with you. And you get to have a new friend that's going to celebrate you this whole entire time on this journey. And that's what it's really all about. Like in the beginning, and Kia is she's just like jaw dropping that she allows me to come in and she introduces me. And then I just educate her client as we go. And like, if you don't need that part of us, it's like, that's fine, but still bring in the person that is your enroller and have them say hello to them and love them up and be in that space so that we can want them to come into this community. And then Allison's going to start talking all about Kind Human and then the community and the whole thing. And like, people don't have this type of connection to people out there in the world. Like, it is just as priceless and fulfilling as the food to have all of the community, I'm sure.
Yes. People really decide with emotion. Like I think people, when they're buying, like there's like scientists who research, the chemical that's released when someone purchases something is oxytocin, which is the feel good hormone. So that's, Kara did an amazing job of connecting me just a few, 2 days ago, maybe yesterday, to her cousin, where she shared with me about the cousin, that information of why she thought of her cousin for this. And she edified me so well to her cousin as well. And when we got on, it was so much care, and to a point where she said, I wasn't even going to order, but because I feel so I feel so cared for right now, she's like, I'm going to order and sign up with the whole thing. Like, sign me up in whatever way you do things, because you have won me over. Like, it was a real heart decision. So yeah.
Thank you for that story. And it's all about storytelling, right? And now Kara gets to share that story, and Alice, you get to share this story, and we all get to be like, oh, right. It's not that I'm calling my upline to have them make a sale or try to talk my client into doing anything. It's like, just take a couple minutes, and you can just be like, hey, do you have a couple minutes? I have a new person on the line with me. Can you just come love them up and like share a part of your story and like what you want to share about Purium, you know, and see, I mean, there's so many of my past builders, like I haven't done one call for some of you, like not one person has ever said like, let's come on a call and like introduce and see what happens, you know. It's like, let's do it. Let's start putting it in the funnel and making that a practice so that we also have stories. And then every single person that's ever introduced me to the person that they've brought in, then it's the best news ever. And we get to just support each other more and more. So, do you want us to share some more?
Something came while you were talking and I lost it, but it'll come back. But let's move on. And yeah, I think on that's good, because now we could so it's like we're setting the stage for referrals.
Exactly. You know, and so I created a document and
I just wanted to, sorry, can I just, it just came back to me. So, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry. It just left again.
It'll come back. Stop me again. But I printed this Word. I have a Word document for everyone, and it's really, and my intention is to like print this out and make a ton of these, like just have tons of these and make an A through Z folder and start doing it. See what happens. When I did hair, we used to have a card with all the person's information and the color and all the things. And so this is your client profile, like card. And so it has, you know, you find your favorite, first their name, phone number, address. If they want to give their birthday, that might be helpful. And find your favorite ULT video, you know, the exposure to actually have a video to do the heavy lifting, which I hadn't done for so long. Sometimes I'll send it after, but like, what if we really let the video do the talking? Because by that time, the person is totally invested in doing this. I probably went from a scarcity mindset of not sharing the video, because sometimes I feel like if you share a video, maybe the person doesn't want to watch it and you're going to lose the sale. I made that story in my head for a long time, but now there's a type of dedication that I know that the client is actually interested in. I don't have to talk to them maybe for 2 hours and then maybe them not even want to have this food at all. You know, it's like, so if they can jump through one hoop and you share with them, I'm here to educate you. It's not, I'm trying to sell you something. I'm here to educate you with all of this amazing information. And I'd like for you to have an educated choice by the time we're ready to be on the phone. So I put some of Melissa Hansen's verbiage and some Eric Warre, and then this other really beautiful man that I just met that talked about referrals the other day. So Melissa shares, may I send you the recording that explains how the program works? Eric Warre would say, if I sent you this link, would you watch it? Great. When would you have time to view it? Great. So by Monday at whatever, you will have watched it for sure, right? You have them say yes. And then you have the open door with them. You're not saying like, I'm going to send you this video. I want you to watch it. No, they're totally in like at choice, and they're going to share with you when. So then you pencil them in, and then I put, they've watched the video for sure. And then you say, again, Eric Warre verbiage, what did you like best? And then Melissa's is about the program. What did you like best about the video? What did you like best about this program? If you did this program, would you be looking for more energy if it's a male, hormone balance, or weight loss if it's a female? Now, I've never done something this pinpointed, and this is what I want to change in myself. I want to have more of a direct way of being and see what happens, because right now it's this whole thing and you listen to everything. And like, I'm just going to try to like merge Kimberly and Melissa Hansen together and see what I can do with myself, because I'm so in love. So then I gave space, right? If you did this program, would you be looking for weight loss? All of it. I put space in there. On these things, you can write notes about your client. So then tell me more about yourself. And it's not just tell me more about yourself. It's you're having control of what the questions are. So how is your energy? If 10 was perfect, what range would you be at? Are you getting 8 to 8? Sorry, are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting 8 hours of sleep, 1 through 10? How is your digestion? Do you get easily bloated, constipation? And I had to add loose stool or non-absorption. I'm always talking about what their shit is like, because if you can understand how they're pooping and how they're not pooping, you're going to be in so much better of a situation, at least for me. So get up close and personal. So are you dealing with joint pain? There's room to write. Brain fog, headaches. How many cups of coffee a day do you have? Have you been able to give up dairy yet? I love that. Thank you, Melissa Hansen. How much weight would you like to release? And ideally long-term. And then at the end, it's like saying, take notes, but this paperwork is here. There's space to write it. Then what's your best shipping address? What card would you like to use? She says, excellent. Let me repeat that to ensure I have everything. So you're getting all the information. Then ask them we're kind of asking for a referral instantaneously with their partner. So, is there, okay, if there's a partner, would you wish to join? I want to throw it back over to you, Allison. How has this happened for you? Can you tell me a little bit how it's gone?
Yeah. Okay, sorry, guys.
Just get things.
No, just go in the other room. Go in Bubby's room. So yeah, like once we're connected, like with okay, sorry. I just lost my once we're connected.
You got it. Sorry, I was just gonna remind you again. So if they have a partner, have you gotten to like sign up the partner right there and then by asking if they have a person?
Yes, yeah. And that's so like you're talking about like the questions that were I'm so sorry. I'm really like my head is like
You're
right. So sorry.
No.
Kimberly, you're doing amazing.
No, you're so fine. You have so many things going on here and I have a quiet house, so don't even worry about it. So perfect. So anyway, we can ask them if they have a partner. And I did this yesterday, and I'm so glad I said partner because this man had a husband. And so I didn't just assume that he had a wife. So that was kind of fun. I'm like, I did it right, So we ask if their partner would like to come along on this journey. And then again, it just goes into getting their details. Excellent. You are going to experience the best results by doing this for 90 days. That's why we offer the lifestyle subscription. Shifting into new healthy habits and adding new self-care practices takes 90 days to form useful habits as the body releases toxins. So my clients love how they feel with this self-love practice, and I trust you will too. So these are all little just things that I put down that you could use. You don't have to use that piece of the script, but like you're going to have your own rhythm and flow as you go. And then I have this for the script for the referrals. So before I let you go, I wanted to share a way to receive discounts from the company and myself. I love helping people like you that care about their health and love living their best life ever. Once you feel how I lead you through this ultimate lifestyle transformation and you have felt the activation, would it be okay if I ask you for referrals? And the guy that I've pulled this from, he said, and of course, some people are just going to give you a referral right then and there. It doesn't mean that like by you saying, can I ask you later for referrals, that the person couldn't turn around and give you a referral right now. We've also been coached to say, hey, I build my business on referrals. Is there anyone that you can think of that you'd want to do? So you can use so many different varieties. You could just go in right away asking for referrals and say, is there 3 people that you want to ask? And I feel like this could be a really great part, Allison, for you to talk about, because you have a lot of brand partners that do.
Well, it's happened so many times. It's just like, yeah, that's now so much part of my, I guess I take it for granted now because I've been using that, you know, asking people now, happy customers, you know, who else do you know that's looking to feel this great? You know, I even have people who aren't customers yet who are referring me because these are people in my community that I've met and I've planted seeds that I trust. They trust me, but they're not open to the idea yet for their own reasons, but they're still referring people to me. And it actually just happened. One guy at the health food store, I've been trying to get this health food store to understand how he can, you know, use this, but he doesn't really, you know, he's not willing to take the time to really pay any attention to it yet, but he's been referring people to me. So that's interesting because I'm like, I just called him up and I was like, you know, this woman, Lynn, just ordered 2 ULTs from me. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm just like, it's amazing. Thank you for I just thank him, you know, thank you for referring me, because people know I've shared stories. People know what it's done for me. They know what it's done for some other people. I've shared other people's stories. You know, once you're sharing stories, you're like, who else do you know that is suffering with depression or mental health issues or sleep or whatever you're, you know, whatever, because you're not asking them, which is such a, like, it's such a great way to actually prospect, is just asking for referrals. It kind of takes the pressure off even asking someone. It could be a really good approach for even how to prospect someone is, you know, sharing your story, it coming up, or, you know, however it does that, you know, what, you know, you've overcome that's going to relate with them. And then, but then say, you know, who else do you know that do you know anyone that is suffering with mental health issues? Like, do you know anyone who is, you know, with the skin issue that you had or whatever it was, you know? And, yeah, you want to just leave people, like, once, what I really liked, you sent me this like mentor talking about asking for referrals, and it was really brilliant because it was like, you set the stage first. Like, you ask them, like, if you have a good experience working with me, would you would you be like open to me asking for referrals? Or like, it's like being open about it and setting up also, like, you want it's all timing. So it's like, you want to ask prompt questions that are going, or listen for when people are saying they're having a good experience with it. Like, when a customer is saying they're having an amazing like they're sleeping better, like, listen for the cues and say, who else do you know? That's a perfect opportunity to say, who else do you know that's looking to get better sleep, that you know is struggling with sleep?
100%. So good. And then, you know, and then you can share. I don't just want to take clients from you. I'm here the company offers this as well, and I'll help you create a post. And for $10 a month, they'll send you more Purium Rewards dollars. And this is like the thing that I absolutely need to get better in. And that's why I wrote it down. And it's like, I have so many clients and there's only a handful that say yes to me or that are like willing to do this. So I need to plug it in the very moment that I meet these people, because I know that if things are falling away and I'm not doing a good job at doing all the things that to have the promotions be used, I have to be putting it in the very beginning, not later, not like, it's like plant that seed with the person and start cultivating the understanding that there is a way to have $10 a month, and I'll help you make a post. You can share your story, and then we're going to be able to call in more people from your social media on that. So here's another way to have referrals. And I've also created a referral link that says, like, if the person actually signs up with a ULT, then I will send you whatever, Venmo, whatever. Today I deleted Wellness Warriors so that all of you could use it if you want. And it just makes it's all in writing, because the more we have in writing, the more professional we feel. And the more a person doesn't have to be, it's just not ethereal. It's not just like up in the air. It's all there, is written. It's a written form of like what I offer if someone actually signs up with a ULT and I get to have them as my client. So I wrote it here. If you are willing to share on your social media, we can make a post together that you're on this journey with me, and the company will offer a $10 voucher for the month. I'll help you create that. And then if if those people, when those people are inspired to join from your post, I have a referral program where I'll send you a gift, a Venmo gift, for all that sign up with the ULT. And so, you know, that is just planted in their head and they know that down the road. And so then when I reach out later, like for the next month or the next week, once like a couple weeks later, when they get their kit and say, you know, who, again, when the person's explaining, like Allison said, like what they're loving, then you could say, now would be a perfect time that I could help you make that post. You could even write about what your experience is that's feeling good. And like, let's have you write about that. Like, and you could share with your friends, like who else is out there that would like to have better sleep. And we put a picture of your green drink, and that post will create a $10 voucher going into your account, and it helps everybody, and I will do whatever. So Juniper had a question. What would you suggest with clients wanting to share Purium that want to send info to others and don't know Purium yet? Allison, what do you like to do to that?
They want to share Purium, but they don't want their own gift. Wait, sorry, say that. It's written here.
Hey, yeah, if I articulate, so I have a customer, they are not ready to be brand partners, but they keep asking. Well, one time they're in my line, I communicate with them. So he's asking in the next 60 to 90 days, he's thinking about being a brand partner. So he's asking, what can I share with people that I'm introducing the idea to, even though he doesn't have his own code. So I think it's aligned with what you guys are talking about. This referral program is going to be very helpful. And then Kevin had mentioned some videos to share. So maybe my code on those videos is where it would go. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, he can just share whatever his own, like he can just, you know, refer people to you, right? Like that he would just, if he would put out a post of what he loves about it, and then that's where, you know, you can have him either just connect you to directly, or set up a connect little call, and then yeah, maybe he'll consider joining if there, unless he just wants the small percentage, you know, like that what Kimberly's suggesting, what Melissa Hanson does too, you know, like there's some people are okay with just having like $30 for every ULT or whatever, but you can, you know, if that someone is getting someone interested, usually they'll want to make the full commission if they start to see the potential of it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yep. I'll keep him plugged in and do some connect calls, you know, trying to invite him in to have those business conversations as well. So thank you.
Yeah. And Juniper, I just want to share, you know, the thing is like, he could start doing exactly what I'm doing with Kia and the brand partners that are working with me like this, is like, he sets up a messenger thread, he adds that friend, he introduces you, and you say, I'm here to bring education to you. And let's really take you down a magic carpet ride of education and goodness. So by the time that person is really activated and your friend is also educated, so you're just creating this education funnel for everyone. And then by the time that person is actually ready to maybe onboard, maybe you can start talking to your friend, be like, you know what, how about you start taking this seriously and start stepping into leadership, and you can start coming to me on the Monday call and on our Kind Human call and on the Wednesday David Sandoval call, so you can start seeing what it looks like to be a leader in Purium and start coaching him to be this person that he doesn't know what he wants to be quite yet. And so then you get to have that, and then it's a duplicatable system that he's seeing too, that you're sending people into that funnel, bringing education, he's learning, and then you start treating him like a brand partner anyway with the education piece. And then if he still doesn't want to show up, then you get to make the money and he keeps bringing people to you, and you can also help him make fast cash because you can just decide what that is. But Kevin put the link in there. Thank you. But I love putting the messengers together, and like, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I'm just trying to like make this sale. I'm like, how about we take you on the best education that you have ever done? And when people say they don't have time, it's like, well, what are you watching? What are you educating yourself with? And if we're not educating ourselves on our nutrition and our health, like, we're going to have a lot of time in the hospital to devote to learn what's what's needed. So anyway, we're at the top of the hour. I want to be kind to everyone's time and all of it, but if you have any questions, we could take a couple of questions before we go.
Thank you, everyone.
Goodness.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kimberly. And just don't forget, like, we're here to ask questions. We're here to be more interested than interesting. So just always remember, there's always a way we can stay curious, ask questions, and to guide the conversation, you know? So yeah, just that's amazing. And you're so good at that, Kimberly, to just keep asking questions. So I hope everyone took note on these amazing questions that we can ask our clients, that we could ask our like brand partners. It's all about asking questions and being interested. So thank you so much for inviting me today and all of us.
Thank you all for coming. I'm so thankful that these teams get to unite, and that we all feel just as connected as the others. So bless you all. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
See you all tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, I just want to say everyone's invited tomorrow. So all of Kimberly's team as well for the Kind Human. We're going to call, tomorrow's call is going to be about creating our 3-minute pitch, or like 3-minute story. And we're going to get into why that's important and like more about that. But we're all going to create like what to put in those 3 minutes. So we're going to go over that tomorrow. Yay.
And also talking about Dave's land.
Oh, yes.
Diamond, really just seeing it as like, we're making history, you know, with every single one of these events, and it's really priceless. And that Dave is even in the body still is even more priceless. So it's like, take full advantage of it if you can, because I don't know, it's a miracle.
Yes, it is. And yes, take advantage of this opportunity. And we are going to do amazing in-life trainings together as well that we have planned for that event. So there's so much, like, it's just get yourselves there, find a way. I know Heather's driving, biking, motorbiking across the country. Like, so everyone can find, yeah, we're going to find our way there. Where there's a will, there's a way. And this is an amazing opportunity. We'll talk more about it in the time to come, but thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. And I'm sure Allison will share the time tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thank you.